Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to our first show in the month of May, ladies and gentlemen. We are out here. And what better show to start with? What better show to start with than the show that you guys know happens after we fly a plane? And that is to address the plane, address the FSD out movement, address sort of all elements of that whole situation. So this is exactly what we're here to speak on today. As you guys saw in the background, as soon as the video started, we're here to address why we flew the plane, why specifically that message. We saw a whole lot of people triggered on Twitter about us including a hockey team. We're gonna address, the entire situation. So yes, this is what we're gonna do today. And before we get started, everyone watching this right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch this on the replay, please do not forget to slap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now, please like, subscribe. I just want to say as well, before we get started, thank you to every single one of you guys for your support in the month of April. You guys have been absolutely elite. Thank you guys so much for all the love, Habibis. And we are here as soon as May started, inshallah, and we continue delivering you content, inshallah, that you guys like. So love for the love, my lovely people. Make sure you slap the likes, make sure you subscribe, and we're out here. So who else am I supposed to get besides this guy that to bring on to discuss the plane, to discuss the movement, to discuss why we did it? He has Curtis Jones' second name currently on his Twitter. Unfortunately for him, Curtis Jones just scored a goal as well. So it's not just like it's just an assist now. It's not just one GA, it's two GA. So he can hold that. But I still remember our first conversation regarding the plane. Maybe we thought he wouldn't get the backing and stuff. And then within 2 hours, within 3 hours, we had gotten the plane set up. It flew the first time. Incredible reaction from the first one. Second one as well. Unbelievable reaction, once again, reported by all journalists. Will probably get spoken about in mainstream media, so it kind of achieved its objective. So joining us on the channel is none other than the organizer. And I've said this publicly on Spaces, I've said this on Twitter, I've said this on YouTube, guys. Just because I'm the biggest, a-hole when it comes to Liverpool Twitter doesn't mean that you have to reference it to me. I'm not the organizer. This man's the organizer. So joining us on the channel is the man that allegedly flew the plane himself. Man like Kurdish. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, they're saying I was there, bro. They're saying it was me. But I'd just like to confirm we're not a-holes just because we fly the plane. We're not a-holes. We're not. We just listen. Sometimes you have to cause chaos. You have to burn it down. And that's what we're doing. We're Bane and Joker right now. We're burning everything down. And John Henry can save us. John Henry can save us. Go get me four top level players, and we'll see what happens. And then just show me. But we're here. We're live. Big up Liverpool, man. Hey, big up the plane. Big up everyone who contributed as always. It's a collective. Big up yourself, man, for pushing it. It's a collective. Let's dissect it.
Big up, man. Big up everyone in the comments before we get started. Big up to Asif. Big up to Ryan, my brother. Big up Tariq Karti. Man, by the way, I can confirm that I was here on time, but the audio just didn't work for either of us. But we fixed it. Big up Yuvraj. Big up Mikam. Big up Yasmin. Big up JB. Michael is in the building. Lee Govender. NZ. Big up to MJ. Gaza, my brother. Big up Mohammed Khalif. Big up Khizar. Abdus is in the house. Man like Mozzie, Aliye, always represent. Big up Zach. Big up Footy Gangster. Big up to you. What a name. Big up Next Summer. Big up Ravi. Make sure to listen to him and like, subscribe. Gary says, man like Hussam and Kurdish. Did the plane get spoken about on Sky Sports? Hashtag FSD out. We're going to address that in a second, Gary. I think the conversation will continue to happen, and listen. This is why I feel like this video specifically today was needed, because many people kind of just don't get the objective of the plane. Like, people really think we're stupid, like as if John Henry is going to see the plane and go like, oh shit, I'm going to sell now. Like, obviously we're not dumb, bro. We're going to address that now in a second. Big up Qusay. This is the guy that last time said I can replace Kurdish easily. All I have to do is pretend man is better than Salah. This is the guy. Big
He's
up
a friend
Qusay, man.
now. He's a friend now. He's an enemy when I'm not here, but he's a friend when I'm here, Hussam.
Big up Qusay, Habibi. All the way from Palestine, by the way. Big up to Qusay.
Big up, big up.
Big up Elias next summer FC. Hello, Kels, Tarun. Big up to all of you guys. Gaza, I'm gonna address your super chat in a second. Before we get started, as I said, big up Gaza, big up Qusay for the super chats. Make sure you all like the video, make sure you all subscribe. And remember, we're gonna be back at 11 p.m. as well to talk about the football. Tom Little, Monts, and Rax is coming on that one. I don't want to bring on Kurdish for 2 shows in a day because I don't pay him enough. So like the video and subscribe, my lovely people. And Kurdish, before we even discuss the whole situation, you know, there's been comments, there's been tweets, there's been replies about why this message specifically. Why include the socks? Why include the penguins in this conversation? And I don't know what your response is to that.
Well, it's quite simple. All you need to do is look at the 3 teams and where they are in their respective sports. And actually, we spoke to people. I spoke to a Red Sox fan. I'm very close to him. We speak on a daily basis. And then they want to get things started on their side. So actually, we thought last time we directed it very, very much on Liverpool. It only makes sense, I think, you know, to go at the whole portfolio and attack them that way. So yeah, listen. All you need to do is look at where the teams are. Is my internet breaking up, by the way?
No, we can hear you perfectly.
You can hear me, yeah. So yeah, that to me is really it, bro. All you need to do is look at where each team is in their sport. You need to speak to their fans, and there will be fans that speak positively about FSG, but on the whole, if you speak to the majority of their fans, you will understand that they have the same frustrations as we do at Liverpool. The exact same frustrations where actually the infrastructure is great, but you're not doing anything inside the house. So you've built your exterior fantastic, but you're not doing anything on the inside to improve the house. So essentially, it's the same message. We spoke with Red Sox fans, we spoke with Penguins fans, more Red Sox than Penguins, and we agreed on a collective message. This was a collective. This wasn't just me, myself, or you, or just the Liverpool fans. This time it was a collective, and we thought, let's hit them where it hurts. And actually, I think we'll see more traction as time goes by, as we did with the last plane as well. And hopefully, all of a sudden, we get more traction and from Red Sox and the Penguins fans. We want to hit them as much as we can through their sponsors, through their PR, through bad PR, through revenue. And it's not about getting them to sell, Hussam. I know my message isn't going to sell. I know 1 plane isn't. I know 10 planes. John Henry doesn't even care. But what it is going to do, like I say, maybe not the 2nd plane, but maybe not the 3rd, but maybe the 4th or the 5th. All of a sudden, Nike are going to go on and say, John, what's happening? I'm a little bit worried here because this is damaging my brand. And if one sponsor wakes up, another sponsor wakes up. So this is you take small steps. You take small steps to achieve your big goal. That's everything in life, man. Hey, we're doing guru talk.
And you know, the thing is, when it comes to what Kurdish just said, you know what gets on my nerves? I hate Karens. Just in general, I hate Karens on earth. There's this massive Karen that's been replying to every single one of my tweets, going like, oh, can you tell me why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs? Can you tell me why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs? Like, you know, I'm supposed to be some sort of a hockey expert. Bro, you're missing the big picture here. It doesn't matter why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs. It really doesn't matter. The point is, there is a common denominator between 3 failed institutions at this moment in time, 3 institutions that have failed to sustain success, 3 institutions that have suffered from negligence and carelessness over the time frame that they have been owned by Fenway Sports Group. It is just a PR attack on Fenway Sports Group's name. It was an attack on FSG from all angles. We're saying 3 fan bases are coming together to raise the middle finger to you. And I have people just worried about like, oh, can you tell me why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs? Like, I'm supposed to sit here like Wayne Gretzky and analyze hockey. I don't know hockey. I've never watched that shit. The only thing I know about hockey is that movie we all watched when we were kids, the movie with the Ducks and stuff, the Mighty Ducks or something. That's the only thing I know about hockey.
Did you ever watch Goon? Goon is a very good hockey movie.
Yeah, I don't even. I've never even watched that. You
I'll
see,
send
I'm not
it
even
to
a big
you.
hockey guy.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it.
I'm not even a big hockey guy, bro. All I'm saying is the big picture here is attacking them where it hurts from multiple different angles. I'm not just attacking them as a Liverpool fan. I'm saying, hey, The two other fan bases are unhappy with the way you're running the institution. It's as simple as that. And people are way too worried, like for me to sit here and analyze, like it's me like going like, why are Liverpool in this position? It's because Klopp, blah, 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 and this guy, blah, 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 and that guy, blah, blah, blah. But you're missing the point. There's one common denominator between three sporting institutions who aren't performing right now. That's literally the only thing that matters. It does not matter why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs. It doesn't matter why the Sox has failed. The overall overarching picture is the three institutions. And you know, I just want to add on to Kurdish's points because this genuinely gets on my nerve. You have people who are FSG out themselves, right? And they come out and they tell you, what is this going to achieve? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for you to fly a plane. It's so embarrassing. It goes against the culture of the club and all that shit. And he's like, oh, I'm FSG out myself, but I just sit on my ass and do nothing. You know what irritates me the most about I actually despise those people more than I despise the FSG inners. I genuinely despise them more. Because the message that they're sending out is, I am FSG out, but I'm just going to sit on my ass and do nothing about it. Oh, you do a hashtag, haha, embarrassing. You do a space, haha, embarrassing. You do a plane, haha, embarrassing. This isn't going to get them to I know it's not going to get them to sell. Man United fans cancelled the biggest game in English football. And they left the stadium. And they did so much. How many protests? And still Glazers haven't sold. Like, are we sat here like, we're not idiots. We know that John Henry is not going to be sat on the TV watching this and going like, oh shit, I'm going to sell. Everyone knows that that's not the scenario. The objective has been achieved, which is to be spoken about in mainstream media, for people to recognize that there is a conversation. Because for the longest, they were having conversations about the Glazers and the Cronkies and all this. When's the last time? Before the first plane? When's the first time we ever even seen an FSG out segment on any mainstream broadcaster? Never. When was Carragher or Warnock, who works on LFC TV, or anyone even asked to speak on FSG? Never. This is the objective was accomplished, is to get the conversation going, to realize that FSG are a problem. Not everyone's happy with FSG like people make out. And people come at us with the most dumb shit like, oh my God, it's not going to get FSG to sell. Okay, and? Like, we know it's not going to get FSG to sell. Like, it's just, some people are just so thick, man. They're busy asking why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs and whether this is going to get FSG to sell. We know it's not going to get FSG to sell. If it was that easy to get FSG to sell, I would have flown 10 planes myself.
Hey, they'd be out by now. They'd be gone by now.
Like,
but
talk to the people, Carter. Talk to the people.
Do you know what's interesting when we have these conversations? I completely understand people being on the fence, but to me, life in any general way, you should be, prevention is better than cure. We don't want to be in a position where we're left behind 3-4 years before we get new owners and they decide they can't compete. And what's worrying for me, Hussam, is they themselves have told us now multiple times this season, just this year, we can't compete, we need investors. So if they can't get investors, that tells you they can't do it themselves, which leaves you in one position where you just accept that we're going to get left behind because they know they can't, or magically these investors appear out of nowhere and take what they want, the deals they want. Or ultimately, you start doing something about it because prevention is better than cure. I don't want to go be in a cast. If I know, if I don't jump off this roof, I'm not going to break my leg. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to jump off the roof and then go to the hospital and say, can you put a cast on it? And then, oh yeah, my leg's back again. No, prevention before cure, my guy. So I can see it. Everybody can see it. They themselves tell us we can't compete. They say, Kurdish, I need investors. They say, Don Hussam, do you know anybody in Jordan? Do you know anybody in Qatar, Don Hussam? Kurdish, do you know anybody in Kurdistan? Anybody in Iraq? Anybody in Iran? They go to Singapore. They say, hey, anybody from the area, please, we'll give you 10%, but we need 300 million because all of a sudden we can't afford to keep the squad because we've been lazy and complacent for the last 5 years. This is the problem. So why are we saying, okay, I'll sit on the fence because I'm not happy, but let's see what happens? You don't need to see what happens because they have told you. Hussam, if they didn't tell us, I would understand. But they've told us.
Just look at Klopp's press conference when the Bellingham thing happened. What did he say? We can't afford a Ferrari. What are you waiting for?
But forget Klopp, FSG themselves, they've come out and said, we need investors. We need investors. But they can't get investors because nobody wants to buy into how much they want to give up for what they're getting. The deal isn't worth it. So it's the same old English saying, you want the pie and you want to eat or whatever it is. And it's like, you can't have everything. Either you say we go now, or you say, actually, we give up maybe 50% for that. But they want to have full control and rights, and they want somebody to come in and fund their whole transfer rebuild and their squad rebuild. And nobody's going to do that. Nobody's stupid, respectfully. Nobody's Kerin, we say Kerin in Kurdish, are you a donkey? Nobody's a donkey. Everybody that's got that much money knows the basics of business. If you get to that level, you know the basics of business. You know, if I go into Liverpool and I'm going to say, okay, I'll allocate 300 transfers and I want to take this much of it, I'm going to want more than 10%. I'm going to want more than 15%. But they have told you, forget the percentages, forget everything. I'm rambling on. But Hussam, when somebody says to you, I can't afford it, you say, okay, I'm going to go to the next customer, or go get the money from your parents and come back. If they can't get it from anyone, which FSG are not able to, and I'm getting angry now, you can hear it in my voice, FSG are not able to, why are you still fighting for them? It's not like they've said to you, don't worry, we'll promise to fix it. They have said, we're desperate for investors. They have showed us they made £7 million profit last year. Hussam, I know Kurdish barbershops that launder so much money, they launder more than £7 million a year. Wallahi. You think I'm joking? Go to London, every barbershop is Kurdish. I'm snitching on my own people right now. They're all Kurdish, Hussam. And they all do more than £7 million a year profit. Come on, bro. Come on. I'm tired.
You know what gets on my nerves as well? Like, I really thought the Bellingham stuff, as people acted or said or pretended, was gonna be the last straw for so many people. When I saw Klopp in that press conference, it almost felt like that was like a Klopp cry for help. Like, he's out here talking about, oh, we can't afford a Ferrari and stuff. And you know what gets on my nerves the most regarding the whole money situation? They keep lying, and people are so gullible sometimes they keep lapping it up. We win the Premier League, we have no money. We win the Champions League, we have no money. We qualify the Champions League, we have no money. We don't qualify the Champions League, we have no money. Is there any scenario in which Liverpool have money? Is there any scenario? Like, I've given you all the scenarios, and every single scenario results in we don't have money. So, like, which scenario results in us actually having money? That's the thing that I just
But do you
don't
know why that is, Hussam? Do you know why that is? And people like to go on about loads of different finances and all these things. It's really not. It's very simple maths, very, very simple and very simple business. What it is you've got owners that don't have a huge amount of capital behind them. They do not have loads of money. So what happens is they're running on a squad which they struggle with the wage bill. They always tell us that, Hussam. We struggle with the wage bill. So by struggling on the wage bill, what they do is they put loads of bonuses in, and they kind of almost hope you don't win all the trophies, because if you do, they have to put that money back. So actually, what happens is when we win loads of money, we don't get all the profits because they've had to pay all these big bonuses, and then that means we make £7 million profit, but we can't spend any money either because they've made no profit even though we got to finals. However, because they then don't have any capital to invest further, it's a badly run club because they don't have the capital to put money behind it. And when they do, they invest it in the wrong places. They continuously invest it in the wrong places. We could sit about here all day. You could say, okay, the stadium was this. And Ian Doyle, by the way, that melon. Do you know the funny thing about Ian Doyle? His own people don't like him. I watched him on the Liverpool Echo, and Neil Jones put him in his place. He said, why are you always continuously defending FSG? Neil Jones did it. A couple of them do it. But he said, a plane has flew over the new stand at Anfield. And I thought, okay, that's your priority. But actually, if you speak to a lot of fans, you could say you could have done some of the stadium and you could have prioritized other parts. Just because they've prioritized one part, and the parts they've prioritized, Sam, the reason they've been focused on the stadium so much is because they know when they sell on, that stadium will give very good value for them. Let's be serious. Anything FSG have invested in, they've futured their own asset, future-proof their own asset. So actually, them things are tangibles for the next seller. They've not done it and gone, oh yeah, let's make the squad big and do these things for the squad. No, they've done it because they know if we have a good training pitch, if we have a good stadium, we know the next person coming in is going to give us good money. It's going to give us good money.
We have all the foundations essentially.
Yeah,
That's
let's not sit
and
here
that
and
Ian
pretend
Doyle
they care
tweet.
about
You know,
the
I
fans.
responded to him. I told him, bro, aren't journalists supposed to be neutral? Aren't they supposed to be like showing neutral? Bro, let me tell you right now, James Pearce,
He's
Ian
so
Doyle,
dusty,
all
Sam.
these guys, you need to understand. We could get relegated and they still would defend FSG. There is absolutely no way for them to criticize. There is journalists who are pro FSG who would at least criticize when criticism. Bro, me and Kurdish have called out Redman TV 100 million times, whether on Spaces or on the channel. Chris Pajak went into a meltdown when the whole Bellingham stuff happened for good reason. He's like, bro, there is some you're allowed to criticize in certain moments. People do know that, right? Like your job as a journalist. Sorry. Your job as a journalist, you cannot be pro FSG the entire time. How do you report the plane by saying it flew over the 80 million stand? Well, that stand wasn't paid for by FSG to begin with. That stand was paid for by Liverpool Football Club.
And they took a loan still on it. Let's not pretend. They still took a loan on it that they're still paying off.
And they took a loan from the club to build the stand. Like, do you understand?
Do you know what I realize it is, Sam? I've come to this conclusion. This FSG conversation is very much about human personality. I've really realized it because you have some people who are like myself and yourself, where we say, we see this and we know there could be risks in the next owner, but we take it. We take the risk because we know we're ambitious, we want more. Some people will just say, oh, it is what it is, we'll get on with our day. Some people, such as your Ian Doyles, will defend them to the hill and say, no. And the reason for that is because his standard is so low. It's Hicks and Gillette. It's Hicks and Gillette. Yes. And actually, when that happens in life, that's a very sad state, bro, because if you go by your life and you live with that one time, the baddest thing happened to you. So that's the standard I go by. So anything by that is better. Then you don't dare to dream in life. So let me give you an example. At university, there was a period where student loan would run out, and then 2 weeks would be a little bit of a struggle, bro. That would be a struggle, right? And you get through. But that was my problem. If I now compare everything in my life and say, oh, at least I'm not that bad again, what does that mean? What does that say about me? That my aspiration is when I was trying to study, get a degree, and live a life through that, and living on a loan, on a student loan. That's my aspiration to life. That can't be my aspiration to life. And this is the problem. So Ian Doyle, it goes back to personality. People like him, and I don't mean to attack, please understand. They are so scared of doing better in life that they're just happy to always compare to the worst point they've had. So always Hicks and Gillette, always built a new stand, always this. Hicks and Gillette were the worst owners of the Premier League, arguably, not just at Liverpool, arguably in any club. We're talking about top 3 worst owners of all time in the Premier League. And that's your standard.
That's their standard is either Hicks and Gillette or the Glazers. Like, you know the thing that Kurdish just said, and I use this example as well on myself and other people. Like, bro, like we have 150 people watching us right now. If I am complacent and 3 years from now I'm happy because a year ago I had 6 people watching, then I'm not ambitious. Then I don't want to achieve what I want to achieve in my life. Then I don't want to make it, bro. The bar cannot be. Who lives his life like this? Like when you go get a promotion, do you tell yourself, oh, at least I'm not homeless, I don't want to ask for a promotion? Life doesn't work this way. You have to have your standard cannot be Hicks and Gillette.
Do you know what it's like? It's like if you say you love her, but if you pulled Rihanna, and then somehow, Hussam, you lost her. You can then say to yourself, but it's okay because when I was 16, I had Megan. I know not Megan's a very white name. I don't know why I said Megan. You wouldn't have a Megan in Jordan. You wouldn't have a Megan in Jordan. But say you had a Megan, and then you say, oh, but at least I had Megan. No, you'd be devastated you lost Rihanna. Bro. So just because I've got my standards are Hicks and Gillette doesn't mean I'm happy that I've got FSG. No, I'm devastated I've got FSG.
Shout out Megan, whoever she is. Big up Megan. Big up Qusay says, got in a heated discussion on Facebook. Oh, they're discussing it on Facebook. Yo, send me the link, Qusay, for picking up the plane. I noticed one thing in common. They're all from Liverpool. A lot of Scousers are deceived. Listen, to be fair, I've met many scousers who are FSG out as well. I've met many match goers who are FSG out as well. I hear maybe there's a discrepancy. There's people who kind of had a maybe a different approach to it. The guy that I got into an argument with, he's telling me like, yeah, I would rather do nothing. Or you do a space, haha, embarrassing. That's not gonna get them to sell. You do a hashtag, haha, that's not gonna get them to sell. You do a plane, haha, that's not gonna get them to sell. My objective is not always getting them to sell, guys. Like there's bro, what Qusay just said is an objective. There is discussions happening on social media everywhere regarding the FSG out movement. And the plane hurt nobody. The plane didn't have some sort of fuel thing that just went down on Anfield and bad things. Like nothing happened from the plane. It is a peaceful protest, flew over Anfield, the conversation got going, and that's what we needed. People always think that it's just people always love to go extreme. Like always love to go extreme. Like it either gets FSG to sell or it's pointless. Bro, I was hearing the plane on TV. Brrr, I was hearing it on TV. I saw Mo Salah and a few players look up and they saw the plane themselves. You think that doesn't matter? That matters.
Did you, Sam, did you see the little smile Mo had? The little smile
Yes,
on Mo's face.
he smiled. He's like, aha. That's what I'm saying, bro.
You know the other thing as well. It's with things like this. It's why do you care? Why do you care? If a bunch of fans want to get together and put some money and go through it and make their voices heard, why do you care so much? That's the big thing here, because fundamentally, this is it. As I said to you earlier, why are you replying to them? I'm not replying to anybody that tweets me, because fundamentally, I don't care. This wasn't just me. This was a collective. This is people who clearly have a strong feeling and thoughts about this. And actually, a lot of these people work in finance. We work in things. We know these things, and we're passionate about this, and we can see certain things happening, Hussam. And I want to make it very clear, Hussam. Every time I've been here, I've said this, and it really pisses me off. Not enough has been made about January. So forget the summer. Forget that you made everything a mess in the summer. Klopp, FSG, wherever you are. But I know, and you know, that in the winter window, Jurgen Klopp was willing to pivot, and FSG did not give him the money. Now that is shambolic, because had they, we probably could have got fourth, Hussam. And no matter how bad the season is, if you had bought in one or two midfielders, sanction it. And nobody said anything about that properly. To this day, nobody's spoken about that January window. The whole world could tell you we needed a midfielder after the season we had at the start. Come on, bro.
Bro, my mom doesn't watch football, but she's heard me say the word midfielder so many times, even she knows we need a midfielder.
Come on.
Okay. Big up to Qusay again, who says, FSG owners claim our owners and manager are as good as cities. Why can't we keep them? We have the heritage and the fans. Can anyone explain? This is the thing that that just gets on. Like, here's the thing. You call us a well-run club and all this. I do believe that we were past tense, a well-run club. I don't believe in the last 2-3 years we have been a well-run club. I think since COVID we have been a well-run club. And by the way, that directly essentially moves on to the whole idea of sustained success. And this is once again the measurement of good ownership. It's not having success once every while, because Blackburn Rovers had success once in a while. Leicester City had success once in a while. Liverpool has success once in a while. It's not about that. It's about sustainability at the top. Man City, sustainability at the top. PSG, sustainability at the top. Real Madrid, since some people get triggered at Arab owners, sustainability at the top. Barcelona, sustainability at the top. They're about to win the league with Xavi Hernandez as their manager. You look at Real Madrid. You look at a smart club versus a not so smart, not so well-run club. Real Madrid bought Camavinga, Chouameni, Valverde, whilst Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro were there. We waited for Salah, Mane, and Firmino, two of those three, to turn into unplayable to actually go address the forwards. Like that's the thing that I speak on. Like where there's no succession plan, there's no next step. There is no let me think what am I gonna do next year? Never. This is the problem. And I have because you cannot fully trust FSG, I have a bad feeling about something. This summer we go address that midfield, and then we don't buy a center back, and the center back becomes the new midfield where everyone's injury prone and they all get injured and shit, and we just go through the whole cycle. Liffi bina ya dunya. It's just same stuff. It's just a cycle. Liffi bina, liffi bina, liffi bina. Like, oh, and then the year after that we buy the center back and suddenly the forward line is the problem. Like, it's just. I just hope this doesn't become like the start of something. And finally, Nidal says, "Who decides what goes on in the banner?" By the way, I love the message. Thank you so much, Nidal. Love you for your support as well. Big up to you, Habibi. Thank you so much for consistently supporting the channel. Second of all, thank you for supporting the message. Also, thanks for the super chat. Now, here's the thing. What decides what goes on the banner, Kurdish puts it in a little, executive group chat he has regarding the whole, message and stuff. And we kind of discuss it. But we have discussed it publicly on Spaces. I've also asked people on the channel if they have any ideas regarding like banners, stuff like that. Let us know. We are 100% open and willing to listen to anyone. Anyone in this comment section could have a much better message than me or than Kurdish or than anyone. So we could have multiple different messages. We actually discussed the message. Kurdish, correct me if I'm wrong. Probably for like a period of 2 weeks, we were just talking about like what should we write on the plane. A lot of thought got into it. But Kurdish explained it earlier on. The reason we had that in the end is it's just a PR attack from all angles. We're saying one common denominator: 3 failed institutions at this moment in time, 3 institutions without sustained success, 3 institutions that suffer from negligence, all owned by the same group. That is the bigger message. Not why did the Penguins not make the playoffs? Oh, look at me, I'm a Karen. Buy me a caramel frappuccino. Stuff it. Mansfield, like Cuntsfield. Anyway, everyone watching us right now, 150 people watching us. Please don't forget to slap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person right now, stop what you're doing, slap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Guys, minimum 100 likes. Yalla. Like the video right now, subscribe. Big up Nidal, Qusay, and Gary for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Most importantly, you all like and subscribe. Now, slap up the like button and subscribe to the channel. So, Kurdish, you spoke about this earlier on, regarding... Look at this guy. Kurdish would fund this himself, by the way. It's possible. You're a mute, Kurdish.
Yeah, personally, bro, I'd fund it. I'd buy the plane for that. I'd have to buy the plane, and I'd happy to do that. He's so bad for Sam. Did you watch him on the weekend? He was so bad. He was so bad. So bad.
Big up Ahmed from Spaces. He's like, watching Elliot is like a beautiful death. Watching Henderson is like a slow, painful death.
Horrible. Yeah. Horrible. You're dying either way, bro. You're dying either way.
So tell me, Curtis, regarding like future movements with this whole plane situation. Many people, funnily enough, have been asking for another plane before the season ends. Final game of the season. Now, I don't know, what your thoughts are on that, but there's no place better than This Is Football to announce it. So, what are you saying? What have you got in mind?
Hey, bro, same. Honestly, I woke up this morning and I had people just going, where can I donate for the next one? And I thought, I don't have a look. So I think, look, from my perspective, there's nothing booked at the moment. And the guy's more than happy to work with us. We get it for a good price. So when we do the GoFundMes, we can sort them out quite quickly. I'm happy to see what the people say. For me, I think first game of the season, home season, would be better. That's me personally. I think that shows no matter what you do, we're not forgetting. We want to see consistency. So even if they have a very good window and they bought 4 players in Hussam, to me, I still want to go on the first day of first home game next season. And the only reason is, like I say, is to say, okay, now do it in January, not 4 players, but 1 or 2, make the bench stronger, and then do it next summer. And then I'm laying off. So to me, that's where my thoughts are, to do another fundraiser over the summer. Again, if people are pushing for the last game of the season, that's something we can do. I'm sure we've had no problem raising money for this, I must say.
Alhamdulillah. People are just fully FSG out, and I love that.
People love it. Bro, I when we were doing English, people would be doing 250s, 300s at times, and I was slow down. We had to take it off straight away. So listen, I know the guy, I have the contact.
This is the thing, Kurdish. There's rumors that he's gonna be there on the final game
He
day.
wasn't there yesterday, bro. He was there.
That bastard went to West Ham and didn't come to Anfield.
He
What
knew.
about-
He knew. I swear he knew, Sam.
Someone told him.
The
The next home game, the home game though, the last final home game. I don't know if John Henry is gonna be there though. Like,
I don't think he will.
we cannot put it out there and promise to people that John Henry is gonna be there, and then suddenly he's not there as well. That's the thing. Like,
First home game makes sense, like I say, because it sends the message: whatever you do, until we see consistency, we're not happy. That's my thought on it. You know, because you can bring me 4 players, I'm still not happy. It's not about players. This isn't about players. This is about your aspirations and your negligence for so many years.
I get what the people are saying though. They're basically saying we need one in the last home game, regardless of whether he's there or not, just to tell the people that like the transfer window's coming and you better fix it up. I don't know if like because you see that's the thing.
We'll see. I'm open to
Yeah,
it.
that's the thing. Like when you look at that last home game, you're saying like basically not a week. I think like 10 days after that the transfer window open, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think thank you, Tassan, thank you. I could be wrong, but I think 10 days after that the transfer window opens. So like it could be like the final thing, you know, where it's just like people just boom, like, you know, where we're gonna tell the world now that, you know, we better spend money this summer. But listen, nothing's ruled off. Nothing's ruled off. We are open. If you have any ideas regarding banners, regarding messages we could send, all of that, feel free to do it. I think we've sent 2 brilliant messages so far. Yeah, you know, the first one, obviously, we all know what was said on that one. Here, we'll put it up on the screen for you guys. This was the obviously showing support for Klopp and just kind of, you know, the anti, FSG
again.
thing. And this, of course, was the one yesterday. You guys saw it as well. Let me just show it. So, like, we've had 2 different planes with 2 different ideas. I'd say the last one was probably a bigger PR attack than anything. You know, just telling them you have failed at 3 institutions. The one previous was showing our support for the manager, which I love, by the way. And, you know, for me, like, the press conference that Klopp put out, where he sat there, started talking about Ferraris. Honestly, man, like it's just I wanted to hug him and tell him like life's gonna be okay. Like,
I want a Ferrari too, Sam. I want one.
look at Vidal, yo. Kurdish loves it. You need a banner to say take out 14. Take
Honestly,
14 out for the
bro,
love of
I'm
Allah. I don't have to see him every game.
telling you. Bro, but Sam, this is the crazy thing, right? We talked about it for what, 3 minutes? Look how many people in the comment section want to do something about him.
Yeah.
He's becoming a serious problem. He's becoming a serious problem, bro. Is he the root cause or is FSG the root cause?
No, FSG are definitely the root cause. Allow it. FSG are definitely the root cause. Imagine Nidal, you know, I can't lie. I'm gonna tell you the message that I wanted to write. This is how shameless I was when the whole Bellingham saga came up. I wanted to write "Sign Jude or we riot" on the plane. That's what I wanted to write. I wanted to write on the plane "Sign Jude or we riot," but then I was like, "Yo, that doesn't send a message to FSG. Let me get my shit together," you know. And then people start DMing me like, "Oh, the reason you want to do that, Wissam, is so you're not bald this summer." I'm like, you know, you might be slightly right there, but big up to you, Nidal, and hey. I'm all willing to do that plane. Maybe me and Kurdish by ourselves will fund that plane right there. Just get Henderson out the team, please. They'd cancel us both off Liverpool Twitter so quick. So now look, here's the thing regarding the transfer window, because we touched on it. What are like sort of the expectations? Are you just waiting to be let down again? You know, regarding the summer, or are you like positive but careful? Like where is your mind regarding transfer window?
I don't know, bro. I'm really in a position of I understand the need to improve centre back, to improve defensive mid, to impress all the positions. But I would rather we spend all the money on 2 top players for the right side mid and the left side midfield than do this thing where we get 5 players and they may be great or they may become amazing. Does that make sense? So to me, I I hear the argument of, you know, we need 5 players, so let's get some players with big potential and do what we can do. I'd stay away from that. I would be more just get me 2, whatever it takes. Get me Jude and Caicedo. Get me the proven 2. Everything else, I can gamble on. I'm happy to gamble on. That would be my transfer strategy. I don't think that's what Liverpool are going to do. But that would be me. Instead of trying to spread yourself too thin, like FSG have done with their institutions, wanting to put a pie in everywhere, I would just fix the left side and the right side of midfield. And I would do that properly.
I mean, we know that ain't going to happen with Jude not coming in.
Yeah. Okay, but I'll tell you who else I take. I'll take Bruno G. I'll take Caicedo. And that's
Bruno's not coming either. You know that.
And listen.
Brother, with Newcastle having Champions League football, I don't even think he leaves, bro.
Yeah. But this is... You
already know who designed this, right?
No, of course I know who designed this.
Pablo?
Big up Pabs, man. Big up.
He's saying the next plane is coming. Look at the way he photoshopped you as well. Into the best, we want to see the best part. He actually put the LFC logo on the suit as well, bro.
It's a really
put the
nice
LFC
suit.
logo on the suit, man. You bozo, Pablo.
It's a really nice suit. But yeah, that's how I like to go. If not, for me, I think, look, like you said, and then I think everybody can tell, we get linked to a new player every day. And I'm just seeing that's what's happening. I don't want Mane back. I love him, but I wouldn't take him back. So, yeah, Ugarte might be, you know, my thoughts on him. Don't look like Jack White.
There's so much wrong, man. There's so much wrong.
We need 4 to 5.
Pete.
This is
called Curtis the scout Socrates.
Socrates.
Sorry, like you cannot compare Curtis Jones to
Gravenberch.
Socrates, the Brazilian legend. Have some shame.
Horrible.
So the transfer strategy that you want, me and you both unfortunately know, my brother, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
You know, we both know that. Unfortunately, that won't happen. So, you know, I just hope that we actually just get our business correct some way, somehow. The likes of the McAllisters, you know, the likes of the Ugartes, you know, and the third one, maybe I'm a little bit more lenient on, as long as we get those 2. Then you look at the center back as well. I think, you know, you can get that issue as well, you know, because we
Do you address left back? I'm happy with the left back. I'm very happy with the left back.
When I spoke on Robertson, they wanted to attack me. They bit my head off.
I'm asking you. I'm happy. That's why I'm asking you.
I'm not happy at all. I would gladly replace Robertson tomorrow.
Interesting. I wouldn't. I wouldn't touch him. With
Alphonso Davies, my brother.
Oh, Sam, that's stinky.
It's time to come home, Alphonso.
Sam, that's so stinky.
Let's do this. Can you imagine Alphonso Davies, Luis Diaz on the same wing? Ooh,
no, Sam.
Offensively,
yeah,
you know you're
Robbo
Mr.
can
Pace and Power, by the way. You're Mr. Pace and Power.
Yeah, and I would like. He's my kind of player. I would. He's
Alphonso and Diaz, Kurdish.
Sam,
Same side.
Alphonso Davies is exactly like me. No technical ability, but just fast.
Don't disrespect Alphonso like that.
Hey,
you
listen,
know he got
exactly like me. He ain't got technical.
No, he's not.
He
no, he's not.
Technique. He's a road runner.
No,
he's a little road runner.
You are Henderson with pace. That's who you are.
Hey, maybe.
I cannot say that. Did you see the cross, by the way? The Henderson cross that went so high up in the air. Curtis had to do his best impersonation of an NBA player to catch it.
Do you know if you watch the game, Tottenham game, the perfect game to look at it, you'll see Henderson trying to make the same passes Trent does from the same positions, and they look like they're playing a different sport. That was the biggest analysis I had, because I like to go back and watch the games. I watched it, and Henderson, when he got more of the ball, he would go in the same positions that Trent did and try to make the same pass. Bro, they're playing a different sport. He's horrible. He's horrible. But hey, big up Ben, because Ben would say, just get behind the fucking lads. Just get behind the lads.
Ben has just become a meme at this point. Like, Ben's a meme. Honestly, Ben is a meme, bro. Like, and by the way, he'll suddenly appear in this comment section, like watching sneakily, you know. Bro, Ben is such a meme, man. He's such a meme. You could just criticize anyone and just come out like, support the lads, get behind the lads, get behind the lads. See, he's just become a big meme, bro.
Yeah, just get behind the lads.
Oh my god.
No, big up Ram in the comment section, man. Yeah, Sam, every time Curtis Jones does something, Ram is the first person to message me. The first person to message me.
Ram don't know ball. It's normal.
Hey, then Ram knows. Ram's my guy.
Nah, Ram don't know ball. Ram does not know ball. I've worked with him longer than you, let me tell you. So, before I let you go, final point. This is a question that FSGNers have asked me, so it's only fair to ask you back. What would it take for you to turn FSGN, Mr. Kurdish?
3 transfers windows of consistency. And what I mean by that is you fix everything this window. So you fix 3-4 players. In the January, I see you make 1 or 2 additions because we know in the season something will go wrong. Everybody knows that, Hussam. So you fix it. I want to see you address, not do a Canate, wait for the window for the transfer to wait for the transfer market to open in the summer so you can have his buyout clause. No, if there's a problem, I want you to fix it. So I want to see that behavior. I want to see you build on the bench. And then next summer, you shouldn't be in a position where you need to buy 2 or 3. But again, 1 or 2, maybe just 1. Just build that bench. When I've seen 3 transfer windows of you showing you've changed your patterns and you realize the model that got you from 8th to 4th can't be the same model that keeps you at top. It's not the same model. It got you there, but it can't keep you there. Then that's when I'm happy. So like I say, let's see what happens this summer. I think they'll do okay. But January is the big one, Sam, because that's when I want to say, you say, okay, I'm going to put 1 more in. Just fix that bench a little bit. Upgrade the bench. Depth. That's what I'm talking about. I tell everybody, I do not want a Trossard. I don't want to be in a title race with Man City, look into my bench, and I've got Leonard Trossard to fix me, to save me. What did I say to them, Hussam? Leonard Trossard. And this is what we're up against.
You're such a bastard. I knew you were going to bring that up. I knew it.
I want to see.
You got like 1, you know, you went like 1 of 10 this season. And the 1 that you got out of 10, you're just like so pushing that narrative.
When you play City, the bench is everything. I can't go into another race with Manchester City and I've got Minamino and Shaqiri on my bench. Respect them. I respect them. But then man had Leroy Sané. They had Leroy Sané. So this is what I need FSG to do. I need to build the first back up and go fix the bench. Fix the bench.
I agree with Kurdish completely. Look, there is a world, and I speak for like probably 90% of FSG outers. There is a world in which we all will be FSG in, you know? It's just about sustained success, man. It's not even that difficult. It's just about sustainability. We can't come up here and pretend like sustained success is only an Arab thing. You can achieve that. But you need to have succession plans. You need to be ready. And let me just say, final statement, you know, before I end the stream. My brothers, if some way, somehow, Qatar don't buy Man United, Sheikh Habibi, I'm looking right at this camera right here. I forgive you. I know you cheated, but you made a mistake. It's fine.
I'll dance for him.
You made a mistake. Sheikh, you know you went to the enemies, but it's okay. Now you realize maybe the enemy is not worth it. So it's time for you to come back home. You know you wanted me first, Habibi. You know you wanted me first. Let Sir Jim Ratcliffe have Man United and you come and buy me. And all I'm saying is, that Qatar money on Jurgen Klopp, whoo! Oh Lord. Now we're talking about not just affording Ferraris. Now I can get a Lambo, I can get a Ferrari, I can get a McLaren, all parked outside the garage. All parked outside. Let's rock and roll. We get in Arab
money. Hey, we can dream.
Oh my God. Big up Messi FC says, did I not tell you about Curtis Goatness? You know, even Curtis has figured out who you are, Messi FC. You are infamous for being a YouTube troll, but you always support me. And I really do love you for that. Like, please, I don't minimize that at all. I really appreciate all your support. But he's not a GOAT, but he's had 4 good games. So just allow it. The Tacticals knew about Jones. Big up to them. No, they did not. LCM, RCM, ball progressive actions. I cannot stand Tacticals. They get on my last.
Ball retention is.
You know, ball retention is just keeping the ball. Ball progression is just passing the ball.
I love it though. I'm a little tactical.
Why don't you just say the basic ass word? Like, why do you have to just be extra?
Transition. I love everyone uses transition.
Counter attack. Okay. Transition. Unbelievable, Jeff. And final big up, Zach, who says Mount to LFC for 80 million. My friend John W. Henry will pay it. Hey, I know for a fact that we're not going to be paying 80 million for
I just
Mason
threw
Mount.
up. I just threw up.
You know that that's not Kurdish. Let's be fucking real. We know that that's not gonna happen. like I think Klopp is not that brain dead for him to spend half our transfer budget on fucking Mount. I know, yeah. Like here's the thing. From Klopp's perspective, 80 million on Mount, he's just gonna put 10 extra and go buy like some world class player. Then that's that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think that's gonna pay half their specialist.
No,
That
literally.
was the fucking funniest thing. I'm like, yo, tell us. No, he wouldn't pay it for Gallagher. He
No, I
explained.
wouldn't. Ram.
He explained. Let's not even go there. Let's not do that. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it here, my lovely people. 11 p.m. UK. Remember to be back. We're gonna be discussing the actual football on the pitch. Big up to Zach CFC, my brother, Messi FC. Love for the love. Nidal, as always. Shukran, Habibi. Big up to Qusay. Shukran ilak ya warde. Big up to Gary Paul, man like Gaza. Thank you all for the super chats. Big up to every single person who supported us on the month of April. Thank you for starting with your support on the month of May as well. Love you all. Make sure you all slap the likes. Make sure you all subscribe to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. There's so much content coming your way. And remember to be back at 11 p.m. as I said. Before we go, Kurdish Ball 93. Tell the people where they can find you.
Hey, big up, my bro. As always, man, subscribe to This Is Football. Like the videos, pass it around. Sam's doing a lot for you guys, man. A lot. And hey, he's my bro. I don't want to get his head too big, but he's a funny guy. Let's be serious. So, hey, big up. So subscribe to This Is Football. You'll find me, like I say, on the terrace sometimes. You'll find me everywhere. But most, I'm like I say, you know, that child who leaves home at like 11 a.m. and then comes home at like 10 p.m. and his mum is there with the slipper. Where you been? I've been out on the streets. I'm on Twitter Spaces. That's where I am. From 10 a.m. till about 3 a.m. every day, you'll find me out in the streets. That's what I'll be doing. But yeah, man, big up as always. What can I say? But Sam, have you noticed how better he's been since I put him in my Twitter handle?
Pablo, you're so wrong for that.
Coincidence.
Final super chat here because we can't leave him hanging. Would you rather have Thiago McAllister or Jones and McAllister? Thiago's good, but I think 200k for 5 games is bad investment.
So, can we lock off the chat?
That's not even.
We were doing so well.
I want neither. I want McAllister and another guy who's fit and can play football. How about that? How about the genius idea of getting someone who can play the sport and be fit? How about that?
That would be too sensible for Liverpool. That would be too sensible for Liverpool, especially in midfield. Too sensible.
Unbelievable. Honestly, Messi FC. I'm going to get on to you in the later stream, inshallah. But anyway, as I said, make sure you go follow Kurdish as well. You'll see him in the dirty streets of the Spaces. The absolute streets, man. Big up to... How can you say that doesn't exist? Salah, Alisson, Trent, Robertson.
Valverde,
don't like him.
Caicedo,
so many people who are fit and quality as well. Like what? Like the video, subscribe, guys. Make sure to follow Kurdish and see you guys at 11, inshallah. Peace.